Well, Merry Christmas. Hope everybody's doing well. Thought I'd start off with a little RS18U music. Thank you, Rapido, for producing these fantastic models. You can see over at 1812 there. And oddly enough, 1812 spent some time in Sault Ste. Marie back in the day, which is kind of cool. And now it spends time in my mill. My fictitious mill that I have in my layout. So I thought I'd do an update here for you guys. It's been a couple of weeks and I kind of promised you guys I would do a little bit more updates. Some updates that I have this week is I purchased the Walder's chocolate factory and replaced the original buildings I had in here were the ethanol plant, the processing plant, which kind of really didn't fit. And I like the look of this big warehouse building. So I was able to sell the other building, which is kind of cool. Thanks to whoever bought it. I forget your name. Yeah, so I thought I'd rejig it. So it came with 3 different buildings. The big warehouse type building there, which is I'm going to use for bringing recycled paper into the mill. And then it came with a smaller building here, which I'm going to use kind of as a indiscreet chip unloader. So, and I'm just kind of mocking up some other things here, and it kind of hides, you know, I would think in a pulp mill, the traditional, some of the methods would be rotary or end dumps or, you know, machinery, and I really don't have the space here for any of that. So this kind of gives you the illusion that the chips are being unloaded inside the building. Got a rig inside with chips that's being unloaded. So yeah, the building here turned out really good. It was super easy to make. You know, the seams and stuff are, I'm not the greatest at building these buildings, so the seams are not too bad. It's not 100%, but once they get it weathered up and looking good. So my goal was the original mill buildings are a different color. They were kind of built whenever the mill was built, you know, back in the day. And then the recycled paper plant here, the unloading facility, was made at a later date. So it's got a different look to it. It's got a different color. To kind of make it look like it was added, you know, after the mill to kind of keep up with the times, so to speak. So it did come with this other building here with some tanks on it, which I'm going to use to unload some chemicals or load either or for the mill. So outgoing product, either black or white liquor. And then the chlorine comes in here for the bleaching. The clay slurry is in there in the back, so it gets unloaded for making the newsprint shiny. We've got the craft tanks here, and then the various mill parts. So this mill is just, again, loosely mocked up here because I do have to have, you know, add in some more tanks and some piping and all that sort of stuff. But it was kind of bugging me with that other building in there, so I wanted to make sure that I, you know, kind of get it right. And you know, I have had half a mind to rip it all out and redo the trackage, but it kind of works for the most part for the layout. So we may not get that extreme. And then the pulp logs are coming in here. So yeah, the rest of the layout I haven't really worked on. I kind of getting back into operations a bit. You know, if you got the money, if you get some Christmas money from Santa this year, you got an opportunity and you're running lockdown, I tell you, purchase one of these. I think Otter Valley has them now. Fantastic shout out to those guys. They're absolutely great to deal with, and really super friendly staff. And I ordered some stuff from them last week. It was shipped out the same day, which is like amazing. And so it was that building, the chocolate factory that I got, it was shipped out the same day with some other products. So super awesome. Yeah, so other than that, kind of retweaking wood chipping, loading down here. The tracks used to curve. I've straightened them out and then made the chip loader here, which is closer to the building, and then I'll mock up some chip piles and stuff like that. So I will fill in kind of towards staging and do some things to kind of hide it. I do want to add, you know, and this end of the layout's completely unfinished really for the most part, but I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm going to start working on it again. So, but there's going to be another mill building in here to kind of break up the distance between, you know, the front of the layout and the back of the layout where staging is. And unfortunately, it's one of the things I didn't do with this layout was to was to make the staging yard under the layout, which would have helped huge on this project, but maybe on the next one. So up to the upper level, I'm kind of roughly finished this off. I haven't added water yet. I'm kind of just playing around, seeing how it works. For those of you guys who like the Edmund Fitzgerald, just taking a cruise by the Michipicoten Harbor here, and no, it didn't really sink. So yeah, so the dock's pretty much, in the ore yard here is pretty much done for the most part, and added in a loader. I've still got to find one more. I'm trying to find it locally so I don't have to spend $1 million to ship it. But yeah, it's pretty much done. The upper level's pretty much done as well. I've got to plant the building, the house here with the, and weather it, kind of blend it into the scenery and such. So the upper level's for the most part done, and all operational. I cleaned all the track a while back, got it up and going. Shout out to Southern Alberta Rail for the method on how to make these birch and aspen trees. Fantastic looking trees. It makes me want to tear out the rest of my trees that I haven't done this yet. And then shout out to Southern Alberta Rail as well for kind of some ideas on how to make the fir trees and the pine trees and such. So it's really helped kind of keep the costs down for making trees. For those of you who don't know, those are real rocks that I use. There's a place just not far from my place here that I'm able to go and find the scaly and shaly rock, which I'm able to blend into the scenery and kind of make it look believable. So the rest of the trees, there's a plant that grows locally here that kind of makes for good fill-in trees. The only downside is the trunks are brown on them, but when you blend them in, I find with a bunch of other trees and you've got some other stuff kind of mixed in there, you really don't notice it. They're more for filler and they're free. So I can go 5 minutes from my house and pick a garbage bag full, and they plant nice, they flock up nice, and they look good. So I use exclusively pretty much Woodland Scenic products and Super Trees, or not Super Trees, but Super Leaf and Scenic Express products. Works really, really well. Scenic Express is they're a little pricey, but I find that they're worth every penny. And my tree making factory down here, so you can kind of see the aspens colors, and then down here is some blends of Woodland Scenic, static grass. There's flock here that I use. Some of it's in different containers. Just to get the colors right, there's the static grass there, and more flock, and it's all kind of blended into believable colors. And then I don't mix the same colors each time, so as I do it, I mix different batches with different colors. So there's some of the Scenic Express product as well. So I've got enough Scenic Express stuff now to last me probably the rest of the layout. And then of course there's static grasses and more Scenic Express. So this stuff here is the Super Leaf, which is super cool. It actually is, for what it is, it works out really, really well. And it's worth the money, I think. So there's maize, yellow. So I model the fall, so you kind of get an idea of the product. And then they make this leaf litter that I use on the floor of the forest, which works really well. And then there's darker colors, but they have every color under the sun. So yeah, that's the little update. I don't want to keep you guys too long because I know nowadays attention spans are short. But I thought I'd show you the update with the mill, and I'll be working over the weekend here. We'll see. I kind of have a bit of a renewed fun to doing scenery. Again, it's been a couple years since I've done a big batch of scenery, and who knows, I've got all the stuff to kind of dial the mill in, so I may keep working on the mill. We'll see. In between running trains, I completely enjoy the operations of the layout, and I enjoy kind of the variety. So for me, you know, each one of these tracks here represents a different train, different sets of cars coming on the layout. So the first 3 tracks are CN going into Hearst. The last 3 tracks are trains coming from Sault Ste. Marie going into Hawk Junction. So, and each train has a separate set of cars on it. So I've designed the layout for me to operate. There's about an hour and a half, maybe if your train is about 2 hours running time. So about an hour and a half. So I bring a train in from the staging and then break it up, and then it goes out to wherever the car cards kind of steer it out to. But maybe I'll make another video on kind of the operations. If you guys are interested, drop some stuff in the comments there, and just let me know if you'd like to see an operations kind of overview. Maybe give you some ideas, some inspiration on doing it. So there's been some good people that I've been able to reach out to, like Chris Vanderhyde, who is a wealth of knowledge for the operations, the ACR, and, you know, documenting, you know, trains and cars and engines. And if it wasn't for the work that he's done, there's no way I would have been able to keep up with or even understand kind of the layout and how it should operate and how the trains work and stuff. And then a few of the ex-ACR guys that I talked to, like Reg Fitzpatrick and James Hutt and stuff. So they've all been really helpful with me on trying to get the operations right. So eventually kind of tweaking. So there you go. Merry Christmas. And yeah, let me know. Drop a comment into the boxes below there. Let me know if you'd like to see an operations kind of overview. And yeah, I got some time. So take care. Merry Christmas, and hope you're all well.